Hello, everybody. My name is Grandos, and here is a couple of things I didn't expect going into high school. Yes, I'm laying in my bed. Why are you questioning me? Like, why do you care so much? Can a girl not be a little cozy? But if you're about to start high school, or if you're in your freshman year or something, here are some things that I think you should think about. First thing I immediately noticed in my freshman year of high school, the work is a lot different. I remember in 8th grade, they would be like, oh, this won't slide in high school, that won't slide in high school. Oh, this work is just preparing you for high school. You guys weren't preparing me for anything. Do you guys remember what high school was like at all or something? It's not even that the work was harder, it was just way different. I feel like the amount of work you would get in one class in high school is the same amount of work you would get of one day in middle school, of like your whole school day. Because I feel like all of your teachers kind of account for each other, and the homework was ridiculous. I don't even remember receiving homework in middle school. I'm gonna be so serious. And I was a pretty good student in middle school, and I don't remember receiving homework. Or at least, like, I barely got homework. I don't know. The second thing is, whenever they say that's not going to slide in high school, it will most definitely slide in high school. In high school, it is so much easier to show up late to school. It is so much easier to, like, skip your classes. Like, I see kids skipping almost every single class of the day. If they were doing that in middle school, oh my god, it would have been the end of the world. The next thing is, it's a lot more diverse. I live in New York. You probably know by now because I've mentioned it 5 billion times. But I live in New York, and most of the time people apply for the high schools they want to go to. They're like, I want to go to this one, I want to go to that one. Sometimes you'll have to set up a portfolio. Sometimes all they do is look at your grades. And because of that, like hundreds of different types of kids, hundreds of different types of kids want to get into hundreds of different types of high school. That took me so long to figure out. You guys have no idea. I was struggling saying that. Like, in your middle school, it's usually just the people from where you are from, which tends to be one very general community, like one very similar mindset, one very similar like ethnic community or like racial community. So I'm not gonna lie, like, I went to middle school with a lot of people that I went to elementary school with. I went to middle school with a lot of people that were the same race. Like 90% of my school was the same race. Like, or it was, you could probably say that like 50% of my school was Arab, and then the 25% of my school was Hispanic, and then the other 25 was white people, but those white people were primarily like Greek and Albanian and things like that. But then I come to high school, there's like a million more kids from a million different ethnic backgrounds and a bunch of different racial identities. It's like people are different. It's people aren't just kind of very general communities. I could probably list you like 20 countries right now, and all of those countries would be places that people are from that I know from my school. Should I do it? Should I? Anyways, that doesn't matter. That wasn't 20 places, but I think that's enough. My point came across. The next thing is that people are so much more comfortable in high school, like in good ways and bad ways. People will bully you a lot more easily in high school, but not the way in the movies, to be honest. But there definitely are a lot more people that are comfortable with bullying. But people are also a lot more comfortable with being themselves and self-expression. It may be because I go to an art school, but at the same time, I've also seen people from other schools that aren't as artistic, that still, like, people are definitely expressing themselves more, and people will post what they think on the internet without fear of judgment, which can kind of go whichever way depending on what you're talking about. And I feel like this just makes it a lot easier to express yourself once you get to high school, and that shouldn't be a fear. My first day of high school, my first day of freshman year, I was immediately like so insanely worried of what people would think about me. I was worried about my outfit. I had I don't think it was a corny backpack, but I had a pink Kirby backpack. And I was like, I really hope people don't take this the wrong way and think I'm some weird kid. I just thought it was like quirky, you know what I mean? But literally, like, not even a month or two in, I realized that nobody cares and nobody's looking at your bag. And if people are friends with you, they're friends with you, and your personality is what matters the most. And there will always be a community for you. And honestly, if you're an introvert, don't be ashamed to be an introvert, because it's okay to just want to sit in the cafeteria alone. Nobody actually cares. You could sit and eat your lunch and like doodle. Nobody cares. This next one kind of connects to the workload, but basically how difficult it is to keep your grades up. In middle school, I feel like it was honestly impossible to fail. Impossible to get any grade below an 80. I feel like I never ever had any grade below an 80 in middle school, even in the classes where I didn't do any work. But oh my God. In high school, you miss 2 assignments, your grade is going to be a 42, whether you like it or not. You really gotta lock in on your work in high school and just make sure you're prepared for that. Because I remember at the end of my 8th grade year, I was like kind of not doing the best. And I remember over the summer going into freshman year, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna be a studying goddess. I'm going into that with a fresh new mindset. I'm gonna be honor roll, gold honor roll. Like, I'm gonna be the best. I failed geometry. I almost failed earth science. My other classes, I don't even remember. Geometry was traumatizing as hell. And then sophomore year, I kind of got my grades up, but it was still kind of. And then junior year, that studying goddess, locking in goddess mindset, it's perfect. Like I said earlier, the preparation that they give you in middle school does not prepare you for anything. Because I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the main reason my grades have been so mediocre my freshman and sophomore year was because I was still adjusting. It's definitely way different, and nobody teaches you how to be comfortable with it. So just be prepared for more work, and make sure you if you're going into high school, to complete your assignments on time. Because maybe in middle school, one little assignment is just like, oh, my grade's still a 95. In high school, that one assignment is dropping you straight down to a 70. Last but not least, school lunches got so much worse. Honestly, I would recommend getting a job ASAP and making your own money and buying your own lunches and getting yourself food that is good, because these school lunches, why are we getting? I used to love the school mozzarella sticks, but why are we getting crusty school mozzarella sticks every day, and then at the end of the week, it is straight slop? Why am I getting dry veggie burgers? Why am I getting like whitewashed falafel? And why, when I'm being served chicken tenders, is there only 2 pieces of chicken on my plates and undercooked? Because I swear, when I was eating school lunch in middle school, it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. But I also think that I don't want to get political, but if you're catching my drift, I think it's because of the loss of funding and things like that. So this might be happening in middle schools today. I don't know. I haven't been in middle school in a while, and I don't typically talk to middle schoolers. But yeah, those are just a couple of things that I didn't really expect going into high school. And now you know what to expect going into high school. Because honestly, going into high school, I didn't know what the hell to expect. I just expected. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I make a lot of content. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow. Bye.